Hello, welcome to another episode of the Restaurant Sales Funnel. I'm Jerry Tukoski, and if this is the first time you are here, very special welcome to you. This is where you're going to learn how to create automated marketing systems that generate new customers for you consistently, and then helps you to convert those customers into repeat business and loyal fans so you can increase the lifetime customer value of your favorite customers. So here we are, and today is a very special episode and a little bit emotional for me because it's about the end of the Sizzler restaurant in Australia. So this is the final week for all Sizzlers that are left, and they'll no longer exist in Australia by next week. And it is a little bit sad because I grew up with Sizzler, and I remember back in the 1985 onwards, it was just an incredible, successful restaurant. We absolutely loved it, the whole family. And for whatever reason, they no longer exist. So I thought this was a good opportunity to find out what went wrong to this incredibly successful restaurant and what can we learn from it. What are the lessons are there that we can learn those mistakes and avoid them, and just to try and keep our business alive. Because if Sizzler couldn't continue on with all the success they had previously, then what chances do we have with our restaurants now? So this is going to be a great learning experience for all of us to take a takeaway that can help us with our business. So let's get straight into it, and I'll just turn on the slides. Okay, so today's episode I called "The Day Sizzler Lost Its Sizzle." Now, it's a very interesting in marketing. We say, don't sell the steak, sell the sizzle, and that's exactly what Sizzler did, and they did it so well for so many years. But obviously, something happened that made it no longer be able to sizzle, and we're going to find out exactly what it is and try and avoid it. So the first Sizzler opened back in 1985. All right, it's quite a few years ago, so if you were there around the 1985, then you would certainly know the impact Sizzler had in the restaurant business in Australia. So they're very popular from 1985 to about 2005, and the queues weren't only in the restaurant, because you had to queue into the restaurant and then pay first, and then you sit down somewhere and then you ate. But it wasn't only the queues in the restaurant, the queue was outside the restaurant, it was down the street, around the corner, and then right down again to the next corner. It was unbelievable. I had never been to a restaurant where you had to queue up for 40, 50 minutes just to get inside the restaurant. I mean, it's just absolutely amazing. And of course, when you got in there, you felt very privileged. Hey, we're sitting down, we're having a meal at Sizzler. It was amazing, right? So incredibly popular because of a fairly new concept that they had. So coming in with something brand new was exactly at the right time. The timing was absolutely perfect. That's made it so successful. However, back in even 2013, Collins Food, which owned the Sizzler in Australia, they reported that the revenue for Sizzler operations in Australia were flattening out, and they blamed the downturn to casual dining sector in the country. But Sizzler wasn't alone, because there were other restaurants that were also failing as well. One of my other favourite restaurants was Gourmet Pizza Kitchen, all right, GPK, and they were very popular. Now, they don't exist anymore. Well, certainly in my local area, they've gone. So if there aren't any left, I don't know where they are. But they're incredibly popular as well. There used to be queues outside, queuing up for these beautiful gourmet pizzas. But what's happened to them? They're gone as well. So maybe there's another lesson there. The Black Stump restaurants, again, were very popular. I don't know if there's any left around, but again, locally, I haven't seen one for years. And of course, there's Pizza Hut. Now, Pizza Hut used to be like Sizzler. I mean, you go in there, you order a pizza, and then you had a salad bar, as much as you can eat, and dessert. But what happened with Pizza Hut is they pivoted, right? They don't have dining in restaurants, or at least that I'm aware of. except for this one here. And really, they focus on takeaway and pickup, and they're very successful. That's something Sizzler never did. So maybe there's a cue there somewhere. So let's talk about Sizzler's USP, all right? Obviously, one of the big things is their salad bar. All right? Being able to go to the salad bar and have a huge choice of different salads, also the dessert bar, soft drinks. All this was a buffet. Plus, you can order grilled steaks, grilled fish, grilled chicken. I mean, a great variety, right? So the Sizzler USP was the way they introduced the first soup, salad, pasta, fresh fruit, and dessert bar concept. All right, and they expanded their classic grill to include steak, seafood, chicken dishes, barbecue ribs, combination meals, and burgers. All right, this seemed to be the perfect formula for families. It was reasonably cheap. The quality of food was pretty good, and you had this, the beautiful sizzling steaks, and these nice little salad bar. You had free soft drinks, as well as dessert. So what else could you ask for? And it really gave you a variety of food there that would attract anyone. So as a family or a group of friends could go to the restaurant and they could order whatever they like. Nice and easy. And of course, who would ever forget the unique Sizzler icon? The cheesy toast. I mean, what a great idea. I mean, this, when you completed your order, you sat down at your table, there they'd give you this food, right? They give you the cheesy bread. Everyone loved it. Of course, it helped to fill you up so that you wouldn't eat too much of the salad bar. But, something very special, something quite unique and special or any restaurant can do that, So do you have something similar to Sizzler's cheesy toast? If not, well, you should be looking at something very special that is free. And as soon as people arrive to your restaurant, put on the table and make that known as your special gift to your restaurant customers. So as I said earlier, the end of Sizzler is this week. They made the important announcement, and after 35 years in Australia, but it wasn't to do with the pandemic. They were already on the way down. Right? I found this little article, and obviously many articles written about Sizzler closing down, and there's only a few restaurants left, mostly in Queensland, a few in Western Australia, but only one left in New South Wales at Campbelltown. That's in Sydney's west, but that somehow survived for all these years. But of course, that's going to close down as well with the other Sizzlers. But let me make it very clear. Sizzler did not die because of the pandemic. It was already dying. Here's an article here. It was written on June 25th, 2015. This is 5 years before the pandemic, and it was already written off as a dying restaurant chain. And this is very much what we've seen in the last 12 months. A lot of restaurants have closed down, and obviously the pandemic had a great impact on those restaurants, but the fact is those restaurants weren't successful. They were already going down, and the pandemic just made it absolute, right? So it just killed them very quickly, but they were already finding a problem surviving. They're already finding it hard to survive before the pandemic, and the pandemic just made it a lot harder and ended a lot of those restaurants. So what went wrong with Sizzlers? Well, Mark Crindle said that the 1980s style of American diners based on value for money servings were no longer popular in Australia, particularly with millennials and Generation Y parents in their 30s. In a more multicultural society, he said that Thai food is proving much more popular outside of Sizzler or RSL clubs and cruise ships, where they're the only places in Australia to still be offering the smorgasbord or the buffet style of dining. But what really killed Sizzler? Well, this is what I believe. The taste, obviously the style of food needed to change. But what I think really destroyed Sizzler was the poison scare. And it's very, very relevant to today. Now, this was back in 2006, right? So about 14 years ago. What happened, they found rat poison in the salad bar. And They found that in a few Sizzlers, and Sizzler had to close down all their restaurants. Now, as it was a woman who mentally wasn't quite right, and she put that rat poison in the Sizzler's salad bars. And this had a huge impact on Sizzler, more than they would care to know. And in fact, since then, I was never thought of actually going to Sizzler again because of that. And they shut down for several weeks, and it cost them millions of dollars. And that, I believe, was the beginning of the end of Sizzler. They were never able to come back from that horrific rat poisoning scare that they had. And I think we can relate to that right now. Here's a restaurant, the Thai Rock restaurant, a fairly successful restaurant. And of course, there was a coronavirus scare in their restaurant. And in fact, quite a number of their customers got COVID-19 when they visited the restaurant. And it wasn't really necessarily the restaurant's fault. I mean, they did everything they could to ensure the safety of their customers, but only to one person to walk in the restaurant with the virus to spread it to other customers and to the staff. And since then, that restaurant has really struggled to come back again. And it's not dissimilar to what happened to Sizzler all those years back again. So here's what we can learn when the Sizzler stops sizzling. Okay. When you fail to adapt to the current market, you attract less customers. When you attract less customers, sales slow down. When sales slow down, you focus on cutting costs. When you focus on cutting costs, you purchase lower quality produce. You cut service staff hours. You spend less on marketing because you're trying to save money. And when you do that, you attract less customers again. And so it goes on and on and on until finally you can't cut any more costs and you close down. This is a lesson we can learn from Sizzlers. Remember, what works today may not work tomorrow. You've got to stay ahead of what's going on, right? Sizzler took their eyes off the ball and they had to close down. They couldn't change their concept. If Sizzler followed, say, Pizza Hut and said, okay, let's do a pickup or delivery service, they'd still be around today and probably still be a very successful, profitable business. But they didn't do that. They didn't make that change that Pizza Hut made, and that's why they no longer exist. I don't want your restaurant to disappear. I want you to stay in front, see what's working, see what's not working, right? There'll always be things happening. Things keep changing. Keep your eye on the ball to help you succeed in the future, right? To stay there. So it's RIP. It's the end of a special era there with Sizzler, and Sizzler, you will be missed. I will miss that, but times change. And the fact you didn't change means that you can't exist anymore. And I hope that's not the case for your restaurant. So I hope you enjoyed it. And I've got a very special gift for you, as I normally have. And what I want to do is offer you a free restaurant customer journey audit to unlock the potential of your business. Every restaurant, in fact, any business has bottlenecks. All right. I want to clear the bottlenecks that exist in your restaurant. All right. We want to get rid of that, and we want to create a flow of customers to your business. All right. This is your cash flow. This is how you exist. You've got to have that cash flow running through your business. So we've got to get rid of those bottlenecks first. And so what I'm offering you for free is your one-page marketing plan. Now, this is a strategy for your wildly profitable restaurant business. All right. First, we're going to review the 8 critical steps for your restaurant customer journey. Each of those points that you connect with your customers. We're going to identify what is working for you now. And we're going to uncover the opportunities to grow your business. We're going to implement your plan to create a predictable flow of your new customers. We're going to convert strangers into loyal fans that flood your database. And you need a database. You need a database, particularly during the pandemic. We'll provide a consistent cash flow to pay your monthly bills and increase the customer lifetime value. Bottom line, more sales, more profit for your restaurant business. So if you want this one-page marketing plan, all you have to do is go to vimico.com.au/calendar. When you go to that page, it'll look something like this. All you have to do is click your free restaurant sales funnel strategy plan. Click that and book a time. And book a time with me. We're going to spend about 30 minutes and talk about your business. Find out what is stopping your business, the cash flow going into your business. And I guarantee you this will work for your restaurant. It will really help your restaurant and help you to avoid losing the sizzle in your restaurant. I'm Jerry Dukoski. I'll catch up with you again soon. Take care. Bye for now.